Hello, I'm Nancy Brennan. I'm here with my friend and author, Jane Filetic. We're here to talk a little bit about Jane's book, Getting Smart About Death. I know that you worked as an arrangement counselor for many years. What motivated you to write this book?
I was given the opportunity, Nancy, to begin work as an arrangement counselor in 2004 here on the Central Coast of California, and it was an eye-opening experience for me. What I saw week after week were individuals and families from all walks of life struggling after a death occurred due to a basic lack of knowledge. And what I learned very quickly was there's no worse time to not know what you don't know than when a death occurs. I wanted to change what I was seeing. By writing this book, I wanted to share as much insight and knowledge as I could to make readers smarter about a subject that will touch all of our lives at some point.
Your book focuses on two specific areas. Can you give me an overview of those different areas?
Sure. The first part of my book covers the hours and days immediately after a death occurs. This is before an obituary is written, before any services might be held. This is when the reality of a death is beginning to settle in for survivors. It's also when a number of questions and issues begin to come up and have to be dealt with very quickly. This is the period of time that's the most challenging and difficult for survivors who are already on overload. The second part of my book focuses on the importance of saying something to someone about our own final wishes. This is what we call pre-planning or advanced planning. I know that discussing a subject like this is difficult for a lot of folks. For some, it's impossible. So I offer very simple ways to say whatever you can now about your own final wishes, because it will make a difference down the road when that information's needed. I also point out some times in life when it's essential to do as much advanced planning as you possibly can. And I list the steps to take when this level of planning is needed. The goal always, Nancy, is to provide peace of mind, the peace of mind of knowing that final wishes are recorded and will be honored when they're needed.
Let's go back to the beginning of your book, Jane. There you covered the questions and the issues that come up in the hours and the days immediately after a death occurs. Can you give us some examples of some of the issues that come up right after a death?
Sure. Every death, Nancy, is personal and has unique needs. But there are 4 major questions that are asked immediately after every death. And I cover those 4 in the first chapter of my book. If someone is aware of those 4 questions and has answers to them, it will make everything else that follows a little bit easier. One of those 4 issues that is addressed after every death is determining who the legal next of kin for the deceased is. And it's not always who you think it is. The person determined to be the legal next of kin is the only person who can legally authorize burial, cremation, even whole body donation. And in a worst case scenario, Nancy, if there's a lack of planning, it could be determined that the legal next of kin is the deceased's estranged family members and not a significant other or another adult who expected to be the one to make all of the arrangements.
What would you say is the message of your book?
To be prepared. Deaths occur every day at all ages and for a wide range of reasons. Some deaths are expected, others are not. To be prepared when someone close to you is nearing the end of life or has reached the end of life, spend some time now on this subject, just to be aware of what happens immediately after a death occurs. whatever information you're able to glean from my book or other sources will make the road ahead a little bit easier.
I've read your book, and you made a difficult subject very approachable. The information you shared has made me smarter, and I have no doubt that it will do that for the reader.
Well, thank you, Nancy, and thank you all for listening.